producing.
Yes.
And so you find that the competition is high, the market is small, apparently, and so we are not doing well, and so the children are not doing well. Yeah.
And we talked before, you and I, about helping to educate children in Uganda. And we did talk to our viewers about how much it costs to go to school and what somebody might be able to do. I'd like to interest our viewers in the education of children. I believe we can be of some help to Uganda and educate some people in your village.
Thank you very much. I know you've already supported a boy in my constituency, and actually the parents were very happy on receiving the amount of money that you sent. I personally am educating a number of children in my constituency, about 5.
Okay.
It costs, in a rural place like mine, the way you saw it, it costs about $200 a term, about $200. Of course, in town, those who are able to pay, the rich, it's much more than that. But in a rural constituency like mine, it costs about $200 a term. A year has 3 terms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a child to
So
be able to
$600 a year.
About $600 a year for one child. Yeah.
Okay. So really, if an American put aside $50 a month, which comes out to about 2 less visits to McDonald's a week, they could really make a big difference in the life of some child.
Yeah.
That's really a blessing, and we want to encourage all of you out there to consider getting involved in the Uganda Education Initiative. Any donations that you might have or would like to make, you could certainly send into Post Office Box 30953, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 29588, the care of the Come As You Are Bible Fellowship. And we would be more than glad to make sure that Sister Rose and the children of Uganda were blessed with your giving. Sister Rose, one of the things I found unique about the nation of Uganda was really something that's really simple: a smile.
A smile.
A smile.
That is always there.
Yeah, in America, people don't smile like they used to, and they're not as seemingly as happy. Whereas Ugandans look at America as a rich nation and think that the people are rich. Americans don't think so about themselves. How do Ugandans see America?
America is blessed. I can tell you. America is blessed. Sometimes you don't see something because you know it so much and you live it. It's after you're out of it that you realize the golden chance you had. I can assure you, Americans, you are envied by the rest of the world. People like coming here. People cry at the visa offices in Kampala when they are denied visas to come and stay here. They really cry. They sell property to be able to come here. So you are so blessed. You should thank God for what you are. And, you know, thank God. Be grateful to God, because so many people would like to stay here, but they can't. So many people would like to be Americans, but they cannot. Yeah.
Yeah, well, certainly Americans are blessed people. God has certainly granted great grace to America, and we've not always done things, I believe, that are pleasing to God with the great grace that we've received. But I believe that we're having a great revival in our land now, and that people are seeing that there are many others that have a need. And right here in America, while unemployment is high and we're having a lot of health care issues, and you know, about health care reform and things like that.
I saw the president talking about health care on TV.
And talking about health care reform, but in Uganda, there's very little health care at all. Our mission group, we went to a health clinic in your village.
A health center, yes.
In Gamba. And talk to us a little bit about the conditions that people are going to have to deal with when they go into a health clinic.
Health centers, the health sector as a whole still has very many challenges. In Uganda, we do not have health insurance that we are talking about in America. We have government facilities, but the drugs are hardly there. The facilities are in very difficult state, in appalling state. You saw the health center that we visited in my
Yes.
constituency. That's the best we have.
Oh.
But I saw the way you, when you looked at the facilities, I saw most of you were sad.
Yes.
And some of you were crying. But that is all we have. And that's the best in my constituency. We have problems. That's why Uganda is one of those countries which still has high maternal and infant mortality.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 100 children born, about every day we lose 14 mothers due to child-related problems, maternal-related problems, either during labor or after giving birth, or a few days after giving birth. And we lose infants and children. So our maternal and child mortality is one of the highest in the whole world. I'm not saying I'm proud of that, because when I say it, somebody might think I'm very proud of it. I'm actually sad that we still have that high infant and maternal mortality rate. But we are working around the clock. Parliament has just refused to pass a loan. Usually government brings loans to Parliament that we pass them and they get money, they borrow money to do other things. But members of Parliament who are women in our organization, Uganda Women's Parliamentary Association, we said we are not passing any more loans government brings here unless they bring a loan that is related to maternal and infant health. So last week, before I came in, we had just thrown out a loan request by government. We said, to hell with your loan request. We don't think this is a priority. The priority to us is women and children.
Okay.
And so unless you bring a loan request that will help the women of this country, Uganda, save them from death due to maternal-related problems, and the children, we cannot pass any more loans. And that's where we stand now. We are waiting for that loan to be able to get maternity wings refurbished, to get facilities in the hospitals, to get ambulances for the women. Well, most of these women die because, first of all, the roads are very bad.
Yes.
And there's no quick means of transport to the hospitals. So a woman gets into child labor and she cannot get to the nearest hospital, which is more than 120 kilometers away. Right. The road is bad, there's no means of transport. But maybe I should say this, I had to donate a vehicle to my women in the constituency, because many of them were dying, and dying of, small things, bleeding over the night. There's no quick means of transport to take the woman to hospital, and so the woman would die and the child dies. So I had to give a vehicle to my constituents to be able to, when somebody's in labor at night, they just ring and the driver goes and picks that person, takes to the hospital.
I remember the conversation about the vehicle that you donated, because we were told about a woman who was giving birth and had to be taken on a motorcycle.
Yes, yes.
Over 100 kilometers on a motorcycle to give
sometimes
birth.
A bicycle.
Yeah.
A motorcycle is quicker, but sometimes a bicycle.
And in Horry County, there are a lot of problems with roads.
Yeah.
But our worst road is better than most roads in Uganda. And again, as we said earlier, most Americans don't understand just how blessed they are.
I saw potholes on TV. I think it was MSNBC. They were talking about potholes, and that was news. I was like, is this news?
Yeah.
To us, it is the order of the day. It's not news.
I want to encourage all of our viewers to open your hearts and your minds. And this is a plea, first of all, for you to educate yourself about the continent of Africa. I've had people ask me, Sister Rose, things like, did I see any giraffes or any animals? There are still people who believe that Africa is all jungle, and that that I would see some wild animals on the street. And while I was in the city of Kampala, when I was downtown Kampala, if I had not known I was in Africa, I could have been in New York or Philadelphia, Detroit.